Hey, yeah, champions. How the flippin' heck are we? Playing first thing in the morning is ill advised. Can't remember anything. Your hands are all cold. How are we? Not even in frame. That's good, isn't it? There we go. What's going on, legends? Western Sydney, yeah, he's talking about St. Mary's, about, I don't know, 15 minutes east of here. It was raining here earlier. Well, an amp equipped with the kinkless tetrodes refused to let you play. You really got me. Where have all the good times gone? I've been listening to heaps of Kinks recently. It's great. Kinks were the original troll band. So that's JC77 Jazz Chorus. It's had some modifications done to it by me. Lowered the gain in the front end. Lowered the overall gain because this customer only uses it to like 3. And the hiss is just over the top. So I'll put some low noise op amps in there using my little single inline package thingies, adapters, to put some high performance op amps in there. Change some values in the front end as well as around the tone stack, around the tone snacks. And changed some resistor values in the front end and changed a few resistors to metal film to bring the hiss down. And I think that sounds really good now. Like a lot of amps, it sounds good when you're just breaking up. If you push it into full-on fuzz town, you can get like the full-on big muff tone with this thing, sort of. And it is usable. It's not, you know, the distortion everyone wants, but that there with a little bit of overdrive on the Strat sounded pretty good to me. Maybe not as much through the aluminium dust cap speakers in the cab, which was very dirty. I don't know what it is with jazz choruses and being just filthy. They've always got like an inch thick layer of shit inside the cabinet. The speakers in that were loose. They're missing the nuts that vibrated off at some point, and one's missing. Yeah, they just really get neglected a lot. I don't know why. This one's got spill damage in it. I thought I had a leaking cap, but I removed the cap and there was no residue under it, and you didn't want to recap or anything, so they're still working fine. These Nippon Chemicon caps they use last ridiculously long. It's probably due for a recap, to be honest, but at the moment it's fine. And I told him, you know, if you have any issues with it in the future, bring it back and we can dig in deeper, but at the moment that's sounding really good. The biggest issue, of course, is the pots on the front panel, well, the only pots, starting to go. So I replaced one of them with a linear tape, logarithmic taper anyway, just to get the taper of the volume pot a bit more sane. And the rest cleaned up okay. There's still a tiny bit of scratchiness. I might give them another cleaning cycle and a blast with compressed air and see how they go after that. But that's sounding pretty good now. So I've got to take measurements and everything on that. It's otherwise complete. I've got to clean the cabinet as well. But I'll put that one aside for now because that's all just me staring at a piece of paper. Not very entertaining. I don't know, unless you're into that. Yeah, been listening to a lot of the Kinks. Also been listening to heaps of... Yesterday I just listened to Pentagram all day. How did they get onto my radar for so many years? They're fucking awesome. So many years and they're still rocking. And the front man is just like the ultimate front man for a doom band. He just one look at him and he just epitomizes the music. Some bands you're like, oh yeah, they're scruffy looking dudes, and then you hear him play and you're like, oh yes, it's like folk band or something. But he is definitely a case of what you see is what you get. It's like a madman in a good way. Please don't keep me waiting. So, everyone's fucking mowing my grass today. What's going on? Yeah. Last night I fell asleep while I was waiting for the video to process for the ordering the pots thing. And then I wake up just about to hit publish and I see Lyle's done a similar video. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. And now I've come in here and I've just fired up live stream and I've seen Six is live streaming in about, I don't know, half an hour. So hi everyone. I won't call out individually because I've got shit to do, y'all. You know I love you. What do we want to do next? Alright, so we've got a Music Man that came back. I've had a lot of amps coming back recently, and it's very disheartening, and it's makes the customers suspicious. One of them was a dead... I think two of them are dead output valves. Tube Amp Doctor can suck a fucking big, massive cock. Because their 6L6 WGC STRs are starting to fail prematurely. So it could be just that valve type, but who knows? I know because I'm the guinea pig. I'm the one that spends all my money on valves and has them in stock and doesn't get to do a return because it's been too long because I stock stuff and don't test it when it comes in. So I think I'm going to get a Maxi Matcher. Talk to Pete about that. Because, yeah, it's worth the money to buy the fucking tester because I'm getting ripped off and fucked up the arse over fucking dead valves. Another one was a dead preamp valve. Another one was, I think, a broken reverb cable. We've tested the one that was there and it was okay, but this is one of those things everyone goes, oh, you do too much to the amps. You don't need to do all that. That's ridiculous. You're ripping people off. And every time I fucking don't do something, it comes back to bite me in the ass. So that screw's really tight. Iffy 6V6s too. Fuck's sake, really? I think I've gotten through most of them without any issues. I don't know. Fucking... So I've got this plan to start a Facebook group. Well, it's already started. I'm testing it. And it's a rolling poll of trusted valves because it's a constantly shifting... It's constantly shifting sands in that respect. So people I trust, I'm not leaving it open to every dickhead because then the vendors and the fucking valve manufacturers could get on there and just upvote their shit that they sell. So it's only going to be open to certain people, and it's going to be a rolling average of the valves to be trusted. So when you buy a set of valves and it fails, or say you're using Sovtech or whatever, the whole industry is so shady and opaque. It's really difficult to be able to do anything definitively. But say you're using, I don't know, JJ's. Morning, Mum. Mum's got COVID, everyone. Wish her well. How are you feeling today, Mum? Say you're buying, I don't know, Electro Harmonics, and they're really good, and then they just start failing. So you'll upvote Electro Harmonics, and then when they start failing, you'll downvote them and upvote whatever you're using. So that way, we'll have at least some hint of what's happening in the industry in real time. because it's really costly, and it's hard enough running a business in this shitty industry how it is, let alone taking hits left, right and centre like that. Just grab my keys for the storeroom. Feels strange without that door open. I feel like I'm boxed in. It's a really shitty looking day out there today. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year here, the winter solstice. I was going to go up to Katoomba and get some footage of all the ferals running around on the street. No. For you guys to chuck up on the YouTubes. Check out all the hippie chicks running around on the street high as a kite. It's pretty much just a drug fest. But yeah, a lot of live entertainment, a lot of pubs, just constant gigs the whole weekend, which is awesome. I wanted to get up there. I've got so much work on though. Every minute that I'm not here, I feel guilty. So yeah, I've got people constantly on my back. What's new? Just bought a quad of JJ6L6s. Let me know if they're any good. Thanks, mate. Rumour has it Chrissy Hind of the Pretenders. Chrissy Hind, sorry, of the Pretenders had a whirlwind affair with Dave Davies just because they wanted a child that bore some of his songwriting genes. It's not genetic. Fucking. How'd that work out for him? Never heard of him. Or her. I still haven't watched the interview with Keith. I did notice, Lyle, though, is Sony Colour Science let you down? You look like Shrek. I think it might have just been side by side with Keith's colour balance. You looked really green, and Green Cast was over it. Had a great day at Katoomba at Yule Fest at Bucketed Snow. Really? When was that, Paul? Yule Fest is weird. It's like Christmas in July thing. Because it, like, I guess for expats from the Northern Hemisphere, makes them feel at home to have a pretend Christmas in winter. I don't know, it's a weird sitcho. Dave Davies equals the Kinks, yeah. I know. There's always one that won't come undone, isn't there? I wish Keith had said more about asking amp techs and not guitar players about amps. Yeah, because guitar players have no idea. It's fine to go off a guitar player's opinion of an amp, but just know it tells you nothing about the reliability. We've got two different size nuts here. We've got a Keps nut and whatever the other type is. Oh, I discovered ants in my master bedroom this week. Well, that's bathroom. That's not good. Oh, really? Next size up. I think it's metric. Tolex is in the way. Flap of Tolex in the way. Really like Keith's style and manner. He doesn't swear enough. He's too well behaved. Really, Brad, you're not familiar with the Pretenders? Yes, I am. Who said I'm not familiar with the Pretenders? Did I say that? Did someone else say that? Or are you putting words in my mouth, Gooden? Of course I'm familiar with the Pretenders. Come Come on, you bastard. Let's get a container for all this hardware. I've got my smoothie. I've also got a coffee, but I'll have a smoothie first because it's cold. I didn't say I'm not familiar with the Pretenders. When did I say that? Bullshit. No, I've never heard of the Offspring, the child that they had. Listen, people, use your ears. How did that? I've never heard of them as in the person that they fucking bred together. So how did their songwriting skill work out? Don't know. Never heard of them, so probably not very well. Kids either love and really get involved with what their parents do, or they fucking hate it and don't want to know anything about it. So it's probably one of those two scenarios. Can't see any evidence of fire yet, but it is blowing fuses. Probably got another dead valve. I don't think we replace these ones either. These things punish the shit out of the valves. They run them at like 700 volts. David Harvey. Has someone done research on it? You doing research there, Richard? Is that the kid's name? Of course they named it David too. Alrighty then. So I told him I'd have a look at this and squeeze it in, even though I've got a million other repairs to do. Sorry about the shiny chassis there. I can't do anything about it. He said the fuse is blowing, but the fuse is intact. 3 amp. Why is it a 3 amp? It should be a 2 amp. Did he replace it? Yep, fuse is intact. Don't tell me it's just the lights gone out or something. You often get that. Musicians go, oh, my amp's dead, and it's just the bulb's blown. My kid is really into Ola England, but dismisses everything I say about guitar. My plan is to get him watching Leon and really fuck with him when I guessed. Yeah. Yeah. Look, Ola England is hilarious. I love him. I watch him primarily for the comedy. Some of the stuff's a bit puerile, but I love it how he rips out a massive burp right before he plays a fucking riff from hell. Ooh, those diodes are a bit overheated. We should replace this. I think from memory, Dad did this one. So this is on you, Dad. It was about, I don't know, 10 months ago, 12 months ago, something like that. We've done the RF fixes because it was picking up radio stations and shit. Jesus. Dad, there's a solder joint here you forgot to solder. That's probably it. Let's solder that joint. Dad. You remember this one? Good, and you just being deliberately old. I like that. Did the ants from a 20 mil team to take the borax back to the nest? What? I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. Leon, as in Leon. Oh God, mental blank. The guitar legend. He's got millions of Leon Todd. That's it. Mates with Jace. He plays head first amps and stuff. Please don't keep me waiting. Just gonna have a quick look over the thing. It's got flyback diodes. That's always nice on a amp with 700 volts on the plates. No, you're full of shit. Of course you would say that, wouldn't you? I'll have a look under the can cap, but this wire here through this into this fuse is folded over, and that goes to the that's the active on the ring of the fuse holder. Fire up the solder. Dad's getting all indignant. What is the RF fix on the Music Man amps? This document's out there, but basically adding a couple of caps to local like just screws to the chassis to just shunt a bit of RF to the ground, because these I forget the reason off the top of my head, but these the input capacitance or whatever of the op amps that they use, which is the old can things, the LM307s, is susceptible to RF. You can change them, but the footprint's different, so you'd have to have an adapter there to put a modern dual inline package 8-pin op amp instead of the round metal can ones that they got. You can see the bright little dots there. That's them. I suppose I better check for voltages before I touch anything. I think this one's got bleeders, but never trust that. 0.00 volts. Got nothing. Smoothie break. Alright, soldering iron should be hot now. What fender has 700 volts B+? Super Bassman. A couple of others using a couple of other bass amps, but this isn't a Fender, so yeah. A 20 mule team hauled borax out of the Death Valley for use in soaps and industrial. Priestess? What? The Boraxo company sponsored a TV show of Weston's Death Valley days. Yeah, right. They had TV back then. Good. What's this fella up to now? Seeing why this amp's come back. I thought he said it was blowing fuses, but the fuse is fine. Those valves sound very rattly. Industrial processes. Autocorrect strikes again. It's a bastard of a thing, isn't it? I feel like this one was done more than 12 months ago, and it came back for a tweak 12 months ago. Still got... okay, so someone else has replaced... They're ridiculous. Look at the size of the caps. 100 microfarad, 450 volt. Yeah, someone else replaced them because I wouldn't use them. That's fucking stupid. Look at the size of them. Might put a bit of silicon on there because they're not secured. Oh, I guess 450 volt. Yeah, I've probably got 100. Yeah, well, they're 100 microfarad, 500 volt. And look at the size. They're half the size, half the volume. I prefer industrial priestesses. Yeah, it sounds more biblical, doesn't it? Reminds me of a girl about a 9-inch nails show in the 90s. Ooh, that sounds spicy. Love the goth chicks. 90s 9-inch nails show. Fucking hell, I wish I was there. That's probably one of those shows I'd go back to. Yeah, TV back when dirt was young. Back when Christ was a cowboy. Yeah. So that's 100 microfarad. That's actually 50 volt higher rating. These stupid things are just ridiculous. I don't use them. They're probably 50% empty air because they feel so light when you pick them up. Don't know why they make them so big, but yeah. And that's 100 microfarad 500 from Tube Amp Doctor. But anyway, their date code is 07. So I think it's 07 or 02. I forget which one's first, but yeah, it's coming up to 20 something years old. If it's 02. I'll leave that off for now. Yeah, it's only got 3 valves, tubes, because it's a hybrid. It's got a solid state front end, and it's only got a valve phase inverter and a valve output stage. They're kind of weird amps. I'll probably have to pull out the schematic if I wanted to get any more detail than that. Okay. There's a cap going from ground to ground. Why? What? Huh? I wonder if we removed that for some reason from something. And we just tied it to a nearby thing, so we left it in the amp. Because that doesn't make sense having a ground to a ground. Oh wait, that ground's isolated by a washer. And a washer there. So the speaker ground is only tied to ground via a cap. Huh. I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't work on it. My next video. Thank you, Lyle. My next video, my next parts video covers axial versus radial caps. I'll be sure not to do a video on that then. Those diodes are getting a bit toasty. I believe that's in... I'll have to look at a schematic. I think I don't know what I'm looking at. I think that's the bias supply there. Alright, well, I think I'll fire that up. Because, you know what? That fuse is loose too. I think that fuse holder's shit. Hold on to your F&T radials. F&T, you mean like can caps? Oh god, that sounds bad. I'm not sure if that's just my leads not making consistent contact or if it's the actual fuse playing up. We'll see how it goes. The amps float the circuit ground from the chassis ground. Okay, so that's why that cap is there. Which one? They both in parallel. Right, that one shunts to ground. I can't figure this thing out. This doesn't make sense to me. Goes to the shunt, goes to the tip. The shunt and the ground are connected, but it's not really ground. Then that goes to the tip of that one. The shunt and the ground are connected. Right, so they're just running in parallel. Right, you got that cap to ground there. Got the new lead that we put on. I only played one Music Man amp. What do people here think of them? Were they an improvement from, and I can't see because the stupid heart's there, from Leo over his older designs? They're completely different amps. Just because they look a little bit like a Fender doesn't mean they're anything at all like them. So yeah, let's use the Variac, see if this is short. Was there a massive truck out front? These things are a bit scary because of the massive voltages in them. A little bit scary on the valves too. Loud, hard, transient, yeah. Very clean. $250 ohms. Can't get my other probe on there. If you want to sound like coked out Clapton, Country or Garcia, you'll love them. What's wrong with coked out Clapton? The The 2 meters are talking to each other, confusing each other. Look at them. Look at them go. 2 meters having a discussion as they spike each other. So I'll turn one off. $247. Round up 250. What's a couple of ohms between mates, eh? $250 and about $230. Just establish that there's no short circuit. We'll give it the full mains because that's what the customer did. On about 9 watts, 11 watts. Yeah, I don't think there's any shorts there. Bang! No standby switch. Where is there? Oh yes, there is. It's on. Standby's on. Let's turn that off. Put it on high power. We have power. This is where we go bang. 59, 33 watts. So that's not drawing fuck all. What was that? Something didn't sound happy. Watch. Okay. We still do have some issue. Got a bad standby switch? Oh, and we've got signal. Something's popping in and out there. 4.5, we're only drawing 60 watts. We've got signal on the grids because I can hear my probe. Now we've got signal. Okay, so something funky going on there. Just a bad standby switch, is it? We've got signal, I can hear the noise. Microphonics in the output. Ah, Our fuse is playing up. Yeah, so let's change the fuse holder because I don't trust that as far as I can throw it. Let's have a quick play first, just have a listen. So I think it's that A, the solder connection not being soldered, and B, the fuse holder's just shit. Alright, prepare to be deafened. Let's turn off my mic. Alright, that I thought did something weird then, but it's just my my plug on my guitar doing intermittent things. I keep telling myself to replace it, but yeah, I don't play things clean, Lyle, you know me. Yeah, so this is me testing, pushing things really hard because that's what my customers will do. You need to punish shit, champions, otherwise as soon as it goes out, that's what's going to happen, and then it'll fall over. Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is, but yes, it is pretty fucking loud, but it's pointing right at my knees, so it's not the end of the world. Oh, sorry, I got my mic on still, hang on. I can't remember the chords. Is this the pedal show? Johnny Winter played music, man. Yeah, Johnny Winter was a fucking legend. So that's sounding good. I think we'll replace that fuse holder and see it on its way. That sounds really nice. I just don't like the idea of owning a amp that's got 700 volts on the plates. What are we actually running on the plates then, champions? I better check that. We're on high power mode. I can't remember if that's what does it do? Does it change? What does it change? Can't remember. I'm gonna have to pull up the schematic, I think. So this is the HD. What is it? 110. The 6 gone live yet? Let's go Troll 6. Yeah, before I look at the schematic, let's go Troll 6. Let's go. That's what they call brigading, champions. When you take your crew over to brigade someone else's channel, and sort of like crashing a party. So let's do that. Desk share. Can you hear him? Can you hear him over here? HD65, that's the one. Thanks, Dad. Swat him. That sounds really nice. How would you describe how it sounds? I would describe it as a lot of headroom, but not so much headroom that Brad can't raise hell without it. With it. Can you hear his audio? How? Let's not lean over a live amp. How? Yeah. Going. Big Ed. How many viewers has he got now? Oh, hang on. Wrong window. Play. Can't hear it. Oh, okay. Hang on.
Juno 106S that was designed for the home market. Exactly the same thing as a 106S or a 106, just with a different color scheme designed for, sold for home use, basically. But yeah, so I'm just doing the voice test on this one at the moment. So right now I'm in cycle. So cycle mode is where it goes through each of the voices, one after the other when you press a key.
Flood him with comments, champion. Flood him. Ask dumb shit. Ask heaps of dumb shit. Ask him what he had for breakfast. Ask him what his thoughts on the state of Australia's cheese industry are.
Please. 2, it's okay. 3, it's okay. 4.
Tell him he's playing it wrong. That's why it's not working. I can't type. I'm drinking.
The other thing is if we go into the filter control, the filters on these, you calibrate them and that so that they operate the same. Because you want the filter to have the same response across your 6 notes, or else it sounds weird when you're like playing in unison, or you're playing like chords or something like that. And the filter cutoffs at different points. So if I go with this one, voice 1's obviously gone. Voice 2, we hear...
Now my audio's fucked.
That point. Voice 3, similar deal. Pull the resonance up a bit more.
Shut up, 6. What's he got? Is that a DX7? It's I don't know what it is.
Ooh. So how does it sound through the old computer? I'm actually running it through the mixer now. I still haven't got the ducking sorted out, so I've still got some of this mic bleeding through. Yeah. Should...
Come on. Sounds wrong. Come on, James, ask some stupid shit of him. Freak him out.
What horrors await. Doing the whole atonal music thing. Now, of course, this is a Japanese synth, so we use a Japanese industrial standard driver. We don't use a Philips head, because Philips...
Oh, sorry, I should probably put the link, eh? Hang on. I actually give 6 with speakers. It does Casio-esque, doesn't it? 5-minute waiting period. Oh, he's got the 5-minute. You bastard. My mic is glitching, probably because I'm really testing the limits of this poor little laptop. Probably. Computer. Free bird.
Free bird. Yes, well beyond my pay grade. Alrighty, that's out. Other two over this side.
Yeah. Go back to that later. In the meantime, let's replace this thingy. Is my audio back now? Hope so. Now, I've seen that fuse holder before. I know what type it is. That's the same type that Matchless use. So I think I ordered some for a Matchless where it was smashed in. Bloody 6 live stream at the same time as me. Here's one. That looks used. Why have I got a used fuse holder? Yeah, what was I doing? Just checking the plate voltage. Just to let you champions know. Face cam froze, but audio is good. Okay. Why is that? Deactivate, activate. Yeah, we're back. Dunno. Yeah, I need a better I need a better computer. I need a better everything. Looks like the size. That's a Busman fuse. Turn the master down. So what have we got? Okay, so it changes between 2 windings. I'll confirm that with a whoop. Okay, that freaked me out. The joys of being in an industrial area is when someone fires up a piece of machinery in a nearby factory, you get a burst of 50 hertz hum coming through the wall, right? Not electronically, but you're literally hearing the motor start up in another room. And it makes you think the amp's fucking out. But, check that out. I think we might actually have... No, I think we've actually got some instability there. Thanks to microphonics. Oh, not microphonics, but see the current jumping around there? I think we've got a bad valve, champions. And microphonics. Hear that? Now it's resonating by itself. 4.9. Alright, we've managed to make it resonate. Now the master shouldn't affect it. Actually, the master's bringing it down because it's probably introducing some negative feedback. Just by virtue of the speaker. All right, new EL34s. I need more plate voltage. Yeah. So what have we got? 675, 677. So 2 new EL34s. I think I might send him an email regarding this. I'd send him the video, except I'm extremely unprofessional on live stream, so I might do a dedicated video just showing him. Let's record that. Let's do it now. I can just hit record. My video will probably fuck out because my computer doesn't like doing anything. But let's try that. Start recording. G'day Ben, how you going, champion? Feel like Frankie on Forgotten Gear Restorations. You've got some microphonic EL34s here, brother. Hear that? Just a go and not stopping. You can see measuring the basically out across the output transformer, so that's indicative of the plate current of each valve. So I think it's time for 2 new 34s. I managed them out last time. I'll check invoice just to be sure. The other thing going on, a fuse holder. So I don't know if you can see, maybe not. I'll get some signal. Just 1 second. Hope you're doing good, mate. Signal. Alright, I've got some signal there. Something's happening. I'll manipulate these. Cuts out. I'll see you. Have a good week. There you go, champions. Technology. Technology. Audio is intermittent. Let me check the recording 1 sec. Ben, how you going, champion? Feel like Frankie on Forgotten Gear Restorations. You've got some microphonic EL34s here, brother. Hear that? Just a go. Fuck me. Isn't that fun? How the fuck else am I supposed to do it? I think we're back, champions. How are we? You got me? Have you got me? Copy that. Copy. Can I get a copy? Sorry, had to take care of business. Not in that way. Copy. Oh, have you other techs ever got that thing when you're squeezing something? It's like your tendons just don't mind the burn mark there. I'm not a self-harmer. I'm just an idiot. My arms are all scratched up from that fucking hedge out the back last weekend, and then we started the fire. We've got a slow combustion fire at home, and I was trying to get a massive, massive log in there and touch the side, and didn't realise for a second. Yeah, 3rd-degree burn. That's fun. What was I saying? Complete lost train of thought there. God, I need to go back to bed, man. So yeah, anyway, on this amp, last time we did a recap, we did some changes for the RF and to block the RF out, and I think we replaced the mains lead, cleaned up the mains wiring, but yeah, this fuse holder's buggered, so I think its spring's gone or either gone or missing. Tendons, yes. 2nd degree, okay. You know what, it's probably missing. No, the spring's in there. It's just lost its sproing and springing. Have you ever like leaned over to do something and your tendons, like, it's like they sort of pop over each other and it sends like a pulse up your arm, and it feels exactly like an electric shock. So many times I've been working on something, you know, nothing to do with electronics, and you feel it and you think, oh fuck, that felt like copping a bit of DC up the arm. But when you're working on something electronic, you do it and it freaks you out for a second because you think you've touched something even though you're nowhere near it, because it feels just like a shock. It's sort of like, I don't know how to explain it, but when you move, it's like your muscles are just realigning themselves, your tendons are realigning themselves or something, and it feels exactly like an electric shock. Yeah, you've got that too? Yeah, cool. It's not just me then. For a sec there, you go, whoa, and it's bad because you can drop stuff because that's your initial reaction. The poor old Svetties. Proper hooper duped. Just listen to them. Rattly fucking things. You can actually, you can actually see the element moving around in it when I tap it, so it's a shame. We've got a date code on that. 9819. Well, I don't think it's the 98th week, so I'd say they're the 19th week of 1998. So they've had a good run. Besides the plate voltage, these things barely dissipate because it's like a Class B amp. They're so cold. That's why I can pull them out after operating them and they're not even warm. So onto a drummer as a maraca. Twisting my wrist like using a screwdriver, something like that. Where like the sinewy part of your muscles sort of realigns or laps over each other, and it feels just like an electric shock. Kind of want to put it back together just to get it out of the way, but that's going to be a pain, so I might have to take up another shelf space. Yay. At least it's got wheels. I've got everything I need to do that one, so I'll maybe give him a ring after the stream and he might be able to pick it up again this weekend. Pick it up today if he's around. I know he was crying out for it a bit. So almost every time things come back, it's something that's not related to the reason it came in the first time, but probably, unless something's changed to that fuse holder, we probably could have caught that back then, and I can't remember if budget was an issue and maybe we tried to reuse the existing valves for that reason. Can't remember, champions. Can't remember much of anything these days. I'm too much going on. Constant things to worry about. Things. Alrighty then. I've been up in my social media game. I've got like 4 days worth of Facebook and Instagram posts in the barrel, scheduled to come out automatically. So we look all cool and stuff. Hiccups. Oh. I have arthritis and Dupuytren's contracture. Sometimes my hand just seizes up after 4 hours with a screwdriver and soldering iron. 4 hours with a screwdriver, I think you should probably buy a drill there, couldn't? Impact driver, maybe. What do we got next? A big, heavy Ashdown. Oh, Jesus. It's fucking heavy, alright? She's got some gravitons in her. You can see the handle's offset. So I think we know which end the power supply is. This end. Because when you pick it up, it's perfectly balanced. Hingy. Evo 2900. Every time I see Evo on these things, I think of the bloody Mitsubishi or whatever it is. Steve Vai showed his hand surgery on YouTube. Yeah, there's something about tendons. Just feeling that burn there just reminds me of the feeling of my foot when the knife went through it. Tendons are weird. Like, I can take flesh wounds and stabs and, well, probably not stabbing. But yeah, if you cut the tendons and stuff, it just really, just irks me. I really wish they'd give up on this subharmonic feature on these things. It's so silly. No one uses it. That one's turned all the way up, but it was bypassed. What? It's like, really, no one uses it. It's such a silly gimmick. Barely tracks. Just sounds ridiculous. Alright, how's this thing fixed? This is not your average rack case. It's larger than a 19-inch rack. Is the amp actually screwed in? Huh. Yeah, it is. I wonder if it came with this. It's like the rack case was from the factory. Top of the morning to you, Terry. Top of the morning. A pint of plain is your only man. Jesus. Look at the fans. Oh. Ashdown. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? So look at this rack case, right? It's pretty much filled with amp. You got 4 fans there. And when I turned it over, something went rattle rattle. I want to do a video on this because Ashdown have been a bit on my case recently. They're a bunch of fucking cockheads. Something is loose. Oh, I want to do a video, but I've got mics and stuff. Fuck it. Just get stuck into it, So yeah, I got an angry email from Ashdown regarding one of the shorts I put up. I can't remember if I already told you or not, but yeah, they're... Oh, that's because it's 1200 watts peak, and we've never had a problem ever with any of our amplifiers. They're all perfect. You're very misleading on your YouTube videos. I said, well, if you say an amplifier's 1200 watts and you have nothing after it, they're going to assume it's 1200 watts. Like real watts. Especially when there's 8 fucking speakers in one cabinet. So long story short, I changed some speakers in a cabinet for a bloke, and the Ashdown speakers had 150 written on the 150 watts written on the Ashdown sticker, and then you remove the Ashdown sticker, and underneath that it said 80 watts. So I said, Ashdown liars. It was tongue in cheek. It was a bit of a joke, and then they sent me a bitchy, moany email from some PR fuckwit. I don't know what his role was. I don't really give a shit, but basically saying I'm a liar because I said that they're liars. And he goes, that's 1200 peak. Everyone understands that. I said, well, if it's 1200 watt peak, maybe print it on the back of the fucking cabinet, because this guy was driving it with a 1200 watt RMS amp and he blew the fucking snot out of it. So it's an issue. You're dealing with musicians here. You've got to write shit in black and white. You've got to make it very clear. You've got to state stuff. Every time you obfuscate things to make your company look fucking better, and your shitty devices make them look more powerful, you end up screwing someone because they believe your bullshit and they blow the fuck out of it. And I didn't get an answer to that. So the funny thing was, he said I'm a liar, and then the information that he presented absolutely reinforced exactly everything I said, because he's just not that smart. So, issues with Ashdown amps. I'm doing a video on the Mag 500 at the moment. I've shot all the footage on that. Oh, this has got... okay. Not good. So this has got one of the issues that I flagged in that video on the ABM 500. And it looks like the transformer's melted. Now, what was rolling around? What did I hear? Okay, is that part of the rack case? Looks like a bit of polycarbonate. Right, what was the issue with this? Let me just get the job sheet. So yeah, I flagged the issues with Ashdowns. I think they're pretty good sounding amps, and I've never had one this big in before, but it looks like they don't know how to do large power amplifiers. Ashdown, that's another Ashdown. Yeah, my other argument was, if your amps are so perfect, then why are they always in for repair? One output channel dropped out about 6 months ago. Continued to use other channel, not advised. Then pop and smoke. My man Mark previously worked on this, apparently. Sub effects disabled previously. Okay, that's kind of irrelevant. I can't see anything to indicate that the sub thing has been disabled. I think that's the module there, and it's still existing. Oh no, there's a broken germanium diode. Okay, someone's actually cracked the glass on purpose. I don't know. Yeah, Mark, that might be Mark's work there. The other stupid thing they have on these amps is the they save a few cents to use insulators on the transistors, so your heat sinks are energized, 160 volts between them. So this just looks like two of the smaller modules, the 500 watt or 450 or whatever they are, watt modules, but just a 2-channel amp, so it's just they've scaled up the existing design. Alright, so we've got some weirdness here. We've got stuff glued to the chassis, we've got washers in place with sticky tape. Okay. But most importantly, we've got a very crispy toroidal transformer. So I'm going to decline this repair because Ashdown are now aware of me, and they're pissy little bitch babies, they probably won't supply me a transformer. So, someone else will have to do it. Sounds like a good problem for someone else. And if that happened, it's probably underrated anyway. So what's the rating? Evo 2 ABM 900. Well, that's their writing then, so you can't believe it. Top cheers. Top cheers. It says top cheers on the transformer for some reason. That's got a HT winding on it as well. Okay, there's a bunch of mods happening here. We've got added wires here. We've got resistors. We've got bulgy HT caps. We've got a resistor that's been snipped out down here. We've got stuff hardwired to the valve socket. Is that another ground, maybe? Don't know. You got stuff linked to other stuff by crazy heavy gauge wire. And two bulgy caps in the HT supply. Got a meter held in by gaff tape. Meters held in by gaff tape. It's wrapped in gaff tape for some reason. I don't know if it broke when someone replaced the bulb or something, maybe. Everything's covered with a film of like greasy stuff. But I'm going to say that this probably isn't a viable repair because of this melted transformer. So I'd like to think that blew a fuse. Just check. Maybe they upgraded maybe they upped the fuse and that's the reason the transformer melted. She's a chunky fuse. 6.3 amp, which is probably a 115. Yeah, 6.3 amps what it's got printed. Hasn't blown the fuse though, not visually anyway. It's a worry. This fuse is still intact, but the transformer's melted. Why for? Maybe the fuse was upped and then something dramatic happened, so then they put the old fuse back in. She would have smoked up alright. Yeah, not powering that one on. So, if we need parts from Ashdown, do we just not accept Ashdown amps now because they didn't like one of my videos? Or do I suck the corporate teat? I don't really like the taste of the corporate teat, so I think I'll just not take in Ashdowns unless it's something easily repairable. Generally, they're all like jelly bean parts on the Ashdowns. The only big proprietary part really being that thing, which kind of sucks because I've never had one with a failed transformer before. Now we could get a new one and then we find out, you know, that something else is causing that. I'd like to see a blown fuse if something dramatic had happened, but it could just be an underrated transformer. 10-0 champions. Can't really do much with that one. Probably not within the budget anyway. Right, what's next? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Got shit everywhere, man. I've got to clean this joint up. Got to make some cables, but that's kind of boring. Oh, the same old, same old. What do you want? got to replace a big module in a Yamaha subwoofer. But that might be an off-camera thing because I'll have to poke my tongue out and stare at it for a while. No one wants to see me doing that. Transformer looks like an old school bundt cake. It's an old school burnt cake. What's all this then? We have a Macintosh HC100. We need another Hot Rod Deluxe. Do we? Alright. I'll give you the next best thing. Oof. Blues Deluxe. It's always one here, champs. Oh, Jesus. Just got my jacket caught on the cabinet. I have an ABM 500 Evo 3 and the tube drive is not working. Gives no sound from 12 to fully on. You must be mistaken there, Daniel Sanchez, because Ashdown informs me that nothing wrong ever happens with the amp, so maybe check your cables. Sorry, I'm being facetious. You may have a shorted FET in the switching circuitry for the tube drive bypass. Now you're popping. Do you like Hot Rod Deluxes, do you, Richard? There's always a Hot Rod Blues something here. There's always one that's fucked. Yeah, I think it's from memory it was TR7. Have a look around there, Daniel. I only know that because I literally just put one back together. Hello, hello, hello. What's all this then? Take it fully out. What do you reckon, champs? Nah, I'll do a quote first. I think I gave him an estimate and he seemed cool with it, but until something's in writing, I don't like getting too deep in stuff. This is actually one of the good ones. So for a short period there, they used... It's still got dumb shit in it, the same dumb shit as always, but slightly higher quality PCB. So this is a Blues Deluxe reissue. Spot the problem. All the tweeds coming off, the chipboard cabinet's fluffed up and falling apart. Yeah. We could fix the amp, but the cabinet's pretty fucked. It's had a lot of moisture. Oddly enough, the speaker, which is the cheapo Eminence things they use, hasn't gone all flaky and peely. Normally the paint peels off the baskets and it gets filiform corrosion and the whole basket goes rusty, but this one's actually, considering the moisture damage to the cabinet, in pretty good condition. So yes, Ted got it first. We've lost vacuum. We've got a snow globe, that's right. Poor little GT. It's got a hairline fracture there. Now, that could have happened from overheating. Generally, if it gets that bad, though, you get this shit going on. Hang on. Where'd it go? Where's my little show valve? Let's go on walkabout. Anyway, I had one with a dimple in it because it got so hot that it's drawn the glass into itself under vacuum, but I can't find it now. Even that one didn't crack, but this one's probably shock. Penny Boy must know that I'm thinking about fucking it off, and now it's behaving itself. Crazy. So yeah, you can see just there where my thumb is. There's a hairline fracture there. Bottle's still intact, but that's let the universe in, and the poor little Getter Flash has done its best to absorb the universe, but it can only absorb so much of that universe, and then it turns into the snowy little thing we've got in front of us. The other one looks like, as a result, it's gotten very hot. So this is probably shorted from suppressor to control grid. So if it takes the other one out as well, it's probably killed the bias supply, or the grid stoppers will often go open circuit in that state, and you can have damage to other stuff in that area, like the bias supply caps, that kind of thing, as it shoots the HT back into the control grid and the bias supply circuit. So yeah, they're done. They're clapped out. Pain Boy works too. Pain Boy has been gaslighting you this entire time. Yeah, now that it knows it's I'm serious about fucking it off, it's starting to behave itself. So I can see the grid stoppers from here, and there's no evidence of overheating on them. We'll just check them. And the bias supply caps aren't bulgy or anything. So maybe you're right there. May have just been run hot before that. Generally, these things are biased really cold, and they're pretty sterile sounding things. We've got our usual, I'm just doing some amp gymnastics here, hang on. There we go, center frame. Zoomy zoom zoom. Yep. It's always done that. If you go too far, it goes out of focus. You can see the pooey schmoo coming out the caps there. Same old IC cap disease. So, I'll give him the quote for the Works Burger. He did say he likes the cabinet how it is, but I don't know that he's looked that close at it, because look at this. This kind of shit. Like, the whole cabinet's coming apart, all the tweed's peeling off. It's just chipboard crap. Fender chipboard crap. They used the board that... They used the pallet liner that they used to send the birch ply to Friedman, and Fender makes cabinets out of it. It's moving. And it's all peeling off. There's a air gap under all the tweed pretty much. So she's had a lot of moisture. I reckon it's actually sat in water at some point, because that MDF's like 23 mil thick now, whereas it used to be like 18. But through-plated, double-sided PCB. So at some point, someone at Fender knew how to make a circuit board. And I have seen the circuit boards for the newer amps, like the Blues Junior 4B. I'll call it 4B. Which is like cathode biased one. It looks like a higher quality board than average, but the rest of them, they still persist with the single-sided non-through hole plated, with a tiny wisp of copper foil on one face. So these circuit boards are pretty sturdy. Now, there's not a lot of evidence of heat in this usual area, so I don't think this thing's had a hell of a long service life in terms of usage hours. It's just been treated like arse. So, I'll give him a quote. we'll go from there. Not even going to fire it up. If there's other issues, oh, they did make an error on the board though. This is on all of them. I've seen it before. They've cut a trace. So they've done something in the layout. They've cut a trace there. Then they've run a resistor there. And I think there was one other mod somewhere else, factory mod that they do. No, maybe that was it. Yeah, so that's some mod to address an error in the layout. There's that resistor. They've all got that. Brad just picked up a JCM 2000 dual super lead half stacker yard sale. What do you know about them? I know that you probably picked it up cheap for a reason, because they are likely to have the conductive board problem, which now that Marshall have stopped allowing people to purchase that board, it's a death sentence to the amp. Until I actually finish the replacement designs, I'm designing a replacement drop-in board for them, because Marshall are too bitchy to keep making it. They don't even have to make it. Then Marshall aren't making them. They're getting them made offshore for sure, guaranteed. They could just put another order out, but they don't want to. They want you to buy another amp because they make more money that way. So the JCM 2000s all go in the bin, and you buy a new amp from another company that doesn't do that kind of shit to you. Or you can buy one of my boards, but they will be like $500 Australian populated, so not exactly a cheap fix. I get a mental picture of a Fender penny pincher saying wood is wood. Yeah. Hey, wood is wood. Whatever. It's the Fender's vibration damping system, yeah. Pallet ply is better than quality of that stuff. So this chipboard is generally used for substructures in like shop fitting, where you know you're going to rip it out in 3 or 4 years when you refit the shop again. It's not used for long-lasting amplifier cabinets, that's for sure. Yes, it's a shame Marshall didn't put a little quality in their designs. That was they were sort of halfway through really getting the designs cheap at that point. But the conductive PCB issue, you got to feel a bit sorry for them that it happened, but they should have manned up and treated their customers with some respect and made sure that they're all good instead of hiding from it like little bitches. But that's Marshall. They're just little bitches now. Keep seeing articles. Oh, this new owner's going to revolutionise. Oh, yeah, righto. This week, okay. And then 6 years time, and this new owner's going to revolutionise Marshall. It's going to be, it's going to be great. We really respect our customer base, and they're so valuable to us. Yeah, whatever. 3 or 4 more years, there's a new face. It's just one of those companies now. It's just a dead company. It's just a zombie company shambling along, eating the brains of whatever's nearby and then shambling and shambling. Alrighty then, what have we got here? Got a Creation Audio Labs. Got to zoom out. Creation Audio Labs MW1 Studio Tool. Who's the studio tool? Anton, if you're watching, who's the studio tool? This or you? So it's missing a foot. You can put a new foot on that. So this is essentially it's a bunch of stuff in one. Instrument level input. So it's like a DI, I think. Instrument input, buffered output, boost output, line level output, line level input, instrument level output. So you can use this for interfacing the studio to amps and vice versa. So it's kind of like a little connect everything to connect everything tool. Now I've had these in the past, and I think from memory it was mainly the the pots needed cleaning. But I seem to remember there was some scabbiness in it and some silly shit for what they charge for these things. Also got bought by the Bluetooth headphone vendor. Yeah. The new Marshall owners suck, according to Henning Pauly. I don't know who that is. Over DSL-50, that is an absolute workhorse. Well, certainly away the replacement board from BGG. Is that the head there, Sean? The 50s tend to... well, hang on. DSL-50. No, it was a 60 watt. It was the JCM 2000. 60. I think you're talking about a different series amp there, Sean. That's probably the later DSL-50s. I don't remember. Let's look it up. Is that a JCM 2000? It's not, is it? JCM 2000 DSL 50. Oh, there is a DSL 50. I'm thinking it's the 60. DSL 401. JCM 2000 DSL. Okay, so yeah, that's the 50. The 60 has... I can't remember off the top of my head the family. The third result I get is from October 2006. I bought a JCM 2000 DSL 50. What a piece of crap. Opinions. I'm thinking of the TSL 60. They had a 2K DSL 50. Yeah, okay. So the 60 was the TSL. I don't fucking know. If it's a JCM 2000, I know they've got the board, basically the same board, but two of the valve sockets are unpopulated. I guess that's the 50. And I think the TSL 60 was a different board entirely. The 60 has a whole board, I think, for everything, instead of the separate boards. I think it's got a separate one for the pots at the front, but all the connectors and stuff are on the same board. So that's a TSL 60 board. Yeah, like your fuses, your speaker outputs, everything are on the one board. And all your pots and stuff at the front. Better than the JTM 60. Everything's better than the JTM 60. Those things are a fucking joke. So this one was conductive. We replaced it back when you could actually get them. I'm not designing this one. Fuck that. There's way less of them out there. They're worth less. If I can keep the 100 watt heads going, I think that'll keep people happy and people will actually buy them, because I've got to weigh up if it's worthwhile, if I'm going to make money on the things. I'm not a charity, champions. Alright, let's look up the data sheet for this thing. They should use existing solutions by people who already know how to do it and let Fractal make models and sell them. It's so dumb. One sec, champions, just got to blow my nose. Yeah, that's kind of why we're here, Joe. We're here to show you what not to waste money on, and to hold the manufacturers accountable. And of course, they don't like us for that, and they try to basically gaslight people and just do scummy sort of covert things, like have multiple accounts on gear forum pages, just posting false shit and whatever, because they've got nothing better to do. The thing is, if you're going to do all that covert bullshit, or if you're going to go on and, you know, give the people, the reviewers who actually tell the truth, give them like bad Google reviews and shit, or like downvote all their videos, you could spend that time actually figuring out how to fucking design something and make a name for yourself, but they don't. They never do. They're just little plebs running around being dickheads. So, you know, instead of sending butthurt emails over an honest review of your product, you could be out there designing the fucking product properly to begin with. Put your energy where it's required, champions. Don't be a little bitchy internet troll. There's enough of them how it is. Freeman, Sir, Jamino, Metropolis, Headstrong. I'd say head first. Seriatone. Better marshals often for less. Yeah, they are better marshals. How dare you remove our misleading sticker and talk about how it's shady. Henning Pauly basically pissed because new from Spotify Marshall rep ghosted him on LinkedIn. Who gives a fuck? I expect zero support from these companies. I'm not surprised when I get it. So the way I've always done business is you just assume the companies don't give a fuck and you figure out ways around it. Headstrong is good too. But yeah, head first. I don't think Jace is here, so bugger him. I haven't seen his comment anyway. If you are here, say g'day. Say g'day, Jace. Jason Tong. Sean Weatherford. Getter allows a Getter. Not sure you've had you've been struck by the autocomplete there again, Gooden. Typically barium and magnesium alloys. That's it. Alloys are typically barium and magnesium. Strontium is sometimes used as part of the emissive cathode coating. Vanadium might be added to steel parts for strength. Oh, got a ground connection there. Right, so this version is different from the last one I had. The last one I had like a prototyping area on the board, which was weird. This is all surface mount. It looks to be hand soldered surface mount. Why would you go surface mount and then not use automated population? That's the whole point of it. Unless you're just doing a prototype. You don't do it for production. Here's my 10mm socket. There it is. I bought a custom 100 watt head. Where do I read head? Amp combo. It's okay as long as you don't use the built-in effects. The best thing is they put a Celestion 65s in it, so when it shoots the bed over speakers. Yeah, is that the cream backs? I had a question about a Friedman. Sent a message on the online forum and Dave emailed me right back from his phone. Yeah, he's super on the ball, eh? He really doesn't want people talking shit about his stuff. Because there are trolls from other companies talking shit about genuinely good products. It's really fucking lame. It's so fucking lame. It's so 2024 though, isn't it? Ooh, we've got a little secret Black Mojo box down there. It's wrapped in plastic and goop. I guess that's a transformer. I don't know. CreationAudiolabs.com. There will likely be a few people making replacement TSL boards. Being a warranty repairer, I knew about TSL main board end of life status before most. Might have changed designs and manually updated existing boards. All the JCM 2000s have bias drift problems unless they were already replaced. The boards were already replaced because it's the what am I trying to say? It's the board fiberglass itself, not like the 100 watts. They do go, but the reason is that it's triggered by heat and the 50 watters don't get as hot. So it will happen with the 50s, but over a longer period. And at the moment, I think I've seen one with it. Even the DSL 401s, the EL84 ones, they get fucking hot, like really hot, and they don't have the issue. I haven't seen it anyway. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but like the guy praising the Origin like the guy praising the Origin and compared it to a Freeman Little Sister. I think it was saying the Origin was so much better. Yeah, that's, if you follow back, you'll find that's probably a fake account created by someone that works at Marshall. That stuff happens everywhere, man. Add liquid cooling to Marshall. Never get bias drift. Yeah, just coat it in heat sink compound, like sunscreen, and then just gel it with that. There you go. Protects it from the humidity as well. The JCM 2000 sound like toys to me. Yeah, they're a bit fuzzy, fizzy, sort of almost like a pedal distortion. When do we go too far? When do we go too there we go, too far. Alright, so you can see all the solder connections are like blobby. And there's lots of flux everywhere. So this was this would have been hand assembled and hand soldered instead of a pick and place. Generally, you want to outsource that stuff. If you're doing surface mount, you want to get the whole assembly, at least when it turns up to you, have it so all the surface mount stuff's done. And if you want to feel like you've played a part, you can solder in the through hole components yourself. Up here, it's probably hard to make out, but the caps are sort of floating up in midair because they've got the lead spacing wrong, and they've used can't see shit there, sorry champ. You've used the wrong lead spacing. Those caps should be hard down against the board. That's silly having them float up because that's just asking for lead fractures and cracked solder joints. These ones are a bit further down, but they're still rocking around. Anything that big should be hard against the board. That one's off crooked. But yeah, you can see the big blobby solder joints there. That's as far as I can zoom in, champ. Sorry, I'll see if going closer helps. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. Well, anyway, you can see the big balls of solder on the end of the parts because someone's hand soldered it. Not particularly gracefully. But there's probably nothing wrong with them. I'd say it's probably like the last one I had where it was just dirty pots. And I think there may have been a failing jack shorting contact. But there's no easy way for me to test this right now because I need to actually listen to it through a set of headphones and a mixer or mic preamp or something. I need to feed it a balanced signal with a DI, which I don't have here at the moment. Anyway, I just thought you might want to have a look at that. Everyone knows the Origin is great and I'm an idiot. So is Ohm for that matter, yeah. Fender meant to add an S after. Oh, look, all you can see is my head. Jeez, that's good camera work, isn't it? Fender meant to add an S after the test. Would have been false advertising. Jesus, hand SMD, kill me now. Lyle, I just fired it up and it does not sound good. People around here don't know and don't care, however. Well, Jason, I think I fixed the issue with his PCB board. But still, it wasn't Marshall doing it for their customers. Pity all those once good brands are just cashing in. Fuck the customer. Yeah, everyone just wants to be Apple, man. There's a desire for constant growth. I don't know why a company can't just sit there and make a profit and just make good products. Like, why does everything have to grow? I don't know. I'm not an economist though, so Penny boy on the A game tonight. Yeah, I know, right? Someone explain to me how to prototype with SMD. You prototype the same way with through hole. You just solder them differently, Scotty. What do you mean? Prototyping these days, just run a board. It's fucking easier than doing stuff point to point or using Veriboard or something. Just bloody run a board. Venture capital demands 20% growth each year. It's insane. Yeah, it's so dumb. Why can't they just be a company that just makes a good product and just that's just the industry standard one thing that you make, or maybe half a dozen products, you know? Why do you have to sell everything, like capos and fucking wristbands and watches, and you know, like, just build like 5 amps that are really good, you know? A few different power levels, and just that's what you do. That's what you're known for. But no, everyone has to be everything to everyone, and it just doesn't work. I mean, breadboarding. I'm not going to make a board during R&D. Why not? I do. I always make boards for R&D. Usually the structure's about right, and you're just doing value changes for voicing, that kind of thing. Well, the other thing you can do, which is handy, is make little module boards. So, say you've got a couple of hours, make a long tail phase inverter, just a board that just does that with a belt and socket in the middle, 4 screw holes. Make another board that's a cathode follower. Make another board that's just 2 gain stages, and just join them together like Lego. And you can build almost anything with that. And that way you can do R&D, and you can voice an amplifier to a particular client's wants or needs. You could even make a modular amplifier. You could make a chassis. This is me giving away ideas here. I think other people have done it already. But you could make a board, like a system in your amplifier chassis similar to this, where you've got sets of screw holes, each fit a module. You might have 2 banks of screw holes. You could have a dual channel amp. And you could choose, you know, one might be a Fender style clean, so like 2 gain stages and then straight to the phase inverter. One might be like a Marshall, so 2 gain stages, or and then a cathode follower, and then a phase inverter. You know, you could make little building blocks, and you could piece them together like almost like Lego. You know, that'd be cool. Can someone make the Dumble amps very affordable? They already do. Seriatone do a whole bunch of Dumble clones. The really hectic ones, because you got to remember the target market there with the Dumble type amps. You know, you're dealing with Cork Sniffer Central. So I've got to be taller for my camera. Sorry, camera. So Cork Sniffer Central, people aren't happy unless they pay a lot of money. So it's sort of the budget is kind of a design feature, I guess. Make a design with the main board and several daughter boards. Yeah, and then connect them with cloth-covered wire. Jim, you know how to get me. Cloth-covered wire. Anything is affordable compared to a real Dumble, yeah. Look, now they're like museum pieces, I guess. It's a bit like asking, like, how much to buy the Mona Lisa. It's like, not calling a Dumble a Mona Lisa, but what I'm saying is now they're historical pieces of work by someone who's passed away, so they're naturally valuable for historical reasons rather than, you know, for the actual purpose of it amplifying a signal. I want to change out at Hot Rod Deluxe with the aftermarket Dumble mod PCBs. Forget the name. Yeah. Who makes them? I know that they're like a yellowy, like really pale, like a sort of almost gold color, eh? I've seen them before. Can I test this now? I can give it a signal line level output, Yeah, I can plug my mic into that and see what it sounds like, I guess. Just unstrap stuff. Turn the mic down so you don't get deafened by handling noise. I used to love plugging shit into other shit as a kid. Now it's like, I've got to plug something into something. Let me get the cable. Alright, I don't want that touching the mains. I'll just wrap that under there for now. Of course, that's the side without the foot, isn't it? Of course it is. What kills me is all the pedals are marketed as the Dumble Sound, Hogwash and Poppycock. Yeah. Yeah, Hogwash, Poppycock, flim flam and flabbergasting stuff. Sound like Monty Burns, mate. Where's the hole? There we go. Right, you ready to be deafened? What have we given you? 400 hertz. I wish I had a pink noise. Gotta get a pink noise generator. Instrument input. Let's plug the Marshall amp into the loop output. Buffered output. Oh, it's got fancy LEDs there. It's like, almost looks like a Bogner rear panel. What is all the hype about Dumbles? I'm sure they can be copied the same as Jose and Haas. G'day, Alex. How you going, legend? I have built a few Dumbles, very tricky circuit. They were all different and some don't sound good for most players. Electrons are electrons, but yeah, I get that it was a bit of a weird circuit, but I think that essentially it was just local negative feedback in certain places, wasn't it? I don't know. I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole. I don't have time. Too busy actually fixing things. I have a DSL-40C. When I'm not, when I'm using it, it goes silent, and you have to turn the amp off and on again to get any sound again. You can hear the relay click when it goes silent. Ooh. So that's likely a problem in a low voltage supply. It could be a bad regulator. Could be a bunch of stuff. DSL-40C. I'd have to have a look. But yeah, take it to a nearby tech. If you need someone nearby, Island or Winder, just let us know and I'll look up. Let us know where you are and I'll look up someone nearby-ish. I can build you one for 5k. 2Rock already has it for less. Yeah, if 2Rock does them. Yell. Where wagon. I can't remember his name's very complex. But he makes awesome ones. 2Rock make them. Seriatone make them. Everyone makes them. It's a known problem. Marshall's sent me the chip. It'll work for about a week. Ooh, so if it was a chip, did it have a little metal back on it? So that would be a regulator. DSL-40C problems? No. I'm kidding, I have no interest in making a Dumble circuit. Fair enough. Brad, make me a new board for it. No, thank you. There he is, Welligan. Yell Welligan? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I'm just a dumb Aussie. You still won't sound like Robin. Yeah, that's right. Play. Don't worry about it. I was having... last night, I was playing through that jazz chorus, and I was having a whale of a time. Don't bring Brendan Fraser into this. Probably a Logic chip. Could be. Head first, Jace is here. Hello, Jace. I didn't see you. You been here long? I'm just fumbling around in the dark here. Sorry. What's going on, Jason? All right, Studio Tool. Are you a Studio Tool, Jace? MW1 Studio Tool. Let's deafen you with some test tones. Click. I can't hear anything. You got to tell me if it sounds good, champions. I'll just get my headphones. Hang on. Alright, that sounds horrible, just as expected. Mute switch is a bit funky. Also got an instrument input on the front, which does the same thing. We're going to the boosted output. Oh, hang on. That's in the Marshall. I can't do the boosted output in the balanced. What's that switch do? Let's just press it. No idea. I think that's phase. Balance line out. Alright. Okay, so the phase button's a bit funky. Scotty! Ooh! Sorry, that's probably deafening you. I'll turn my earphones up so it makes it more obvious. Alright, champ. So yeah, it's the same as the last one I had. It just needs a bit of a pot cleaning, switch cleaning set up. So let's do it. I can't test everything at the moment because my connectivity is not fantastic. Bacon crackle. Stop it! You'll make me hungry for bacon. Oh, speaking of bacon, no. Where's my coffee? So what I might do, I want to make like a tech tool for interfacing a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be like a little box. It's gonna have a passive DI in it. It's gonna have like a reamping transformer in it. It's going to have speaker adapters, so you plug any speaker into any connector type, like spade connectors of different genders, that kind of thing. Basically just a exposed PCB, like a box with a PCB on the top with all the connectors on it. That will just be screwed to the wall, and then I'll be able to interface pretty much everything to everything. Line level attenuation switches, that kind of thing, just so everything can interface to everything. Alright, well, I think I know what's got to happen to that one. What do we do next? I've got to get into this Ampeg next, so I've got to get my priorities straight. I'll get the Music Man out of the way first, but I've got to call a customer, which is going to happen in about 40 minutes. What else have I got to do before the Ampeg? Got to finish the JC77. I want to do a video on the little Walter, which I still haven't looked at. I want to trace the circuit out, so I'm going to take the little Walter home and trace the circuit so I can say this is why it sounds like shit. I'll get in touch with the Ashdown guy and tell him it's probably non-viable. Got to follow up a quote for the AFD 50 Marshall acoustic thing. What else can we assess? We'll assess the Macintosh. No, not the computer. The amplifier. Let me just catch up here. I bought a fairly affordable Variac and added a display to show me power, voltage, etc. Probably $80 all said and done. Good shit. Good enough for the girls I date. Brad, good to see you not gulping on island pints. I am and trying to quit. Trying to quit drinking beer? Why would you do that? Just drink less of it. You'll be fine. If you're drinking too much beer, what you got to do is not start drinking on an empty stomach. Eat dinner before you start drinking. I've got a nice Superior Electronics variable transformer from eBay. Old used one for $60. Nice. Which AT headphones? They were the ATHM 40X, I think. Just the plug-in ones. 5 amp is plenty for most amps. Yeah. I have a Chinese Variac, which I got from Amazon returns for $16. It's worked good so far. I looked at the DSL40 schematic. Just shows a regular unity gain op-amp circuit, but doesn't say what the op-amp is. If op-amps are dying, some cheap component is bad, or there's an issue. Yeah. Thanks, champion. Appreciate all the options. Are you talking about the prototype in there, Scotty? With the DC, something wrong with the DC rails, unity gain. Yeah, I picked that up. There's only one amp tech in the area, and he's got more work than he can do. So I figure since I need a job, I may as well fix amps again. Go for it, Scotty. Alrighty then, what's the symptom? So it's a Macintosh MC7100 stereo power amplificator. Job sheet. I should have looked at this one weeks ago, but I've been too busy. Finished gluing guitars over the weekend too. There's too much on. Right hand channel clipping indicator triggering early, no audible distortion, then overheats and shuts down. Well, that's not good. Let's have a look inside. He said it's been modded, so I'm not going to even power this thing on until I've had a look. Until I've had a wee boo. Scotty is getting a Variac and becoming a guru. Scotty. Good luck, mate. It's not an easy game. It's a lot better if you start off, if you know what you're doing, if you start off with a very small workload just to warm up to it. Once word gets out, it's going to be hard to stem the flow of people wanting their shit fixed. And there's like a very insistent tone of voice to them, and they act like they sometimes act a bit like they own you because you can fix stuff. Like, you have to look at it for me. Oh, you got to look at it. You've got to fix it for me, please. You've got to. Well, no, I don't. I don't have to fucking do anything. I could shut the shop and go have a wank if I wanted to. None of your business. But yeah, people are like, you've got to look at it for me. It's like, no. Especially when it's a cheap piece of shit, and they claim that they're like emotionally attached to like a $200 subwoofer or something like that. It's like, no, you're not. You're just lying. So half of the business, Scotty, is psychological navigation. So yeah, that I can't give you much advice on. It's a case-by-case basis. Just get in 5-6 amps and you're set for the first year. Well, chances are at the start you're going to be getting the trash that no one else wants to fix. Part of the reason I do all this social media shit is to gain some kind of notoriety, so I don't get the reject jobs that just the reject jobs that no one else wants to look at, which is kind of what it was at the start. But you know what? Doing that, you learn pretty bloody quickly. All the stuff that no one else was good enough to fix, I can now fix. So that's a plus. Look at those monster caps. 15 kilo microfarads. Silly how we do that, eh? Alright, so they've done the same thing as the previous unit. They've mounted the caps floating up in midair, jiggling, jangling. Okay, so this must be the mods, because generally you don't find connectors drilled straight through the logo. So it's not just guitar amps, champions. So I don't know what that's about. I think I'm going to have to do some forum trolling to figure out what they thought they were doing here. You've got... oh, yeah. I'm smelling bullshit. So you've got someone silicon in reference grade 3.3 microfarad 250 volt caps made in the USA. I bet they're not. I bet the outer casing is made in the USA. And they've lifted... have they lifted something? Well, they've installed something new. So I've got new 4.7k resistors and another cap. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out what they thought they were doing here before I really do anything, because it could be something to do with this area. This is on the low level stuff though, so I doubt the overheating issue is going to be related to that. That's the output, I think. No, balanced inputs. Is that a loop back output? I don't know. I'm going to have to do a bit of research, I think. It might be a over the weekend job. Try and figure out what that mod's all about. So I'm guessing that there's a bias drifting issue if it's overheating. So in a push-pull amp, with valve, right, on the grid, you've got a negative voltage, and that acts like a handbrake. It acts like your missus when you're on a night out saying, "Oh, let's do tequila." She's like, "No, you're not having tequila." And you're like, "Come on, let's do tequila shots." And as she turns that voltage negative, pulls you further away from the bar that would serve you tequila shots. With transistor amps, it's the other way around. There's a slightly positive voltage that enables the transistors to just start conducting. And if that voltage goes up, similar, I guess, if the voltage goes towards zero on bias supply in a valve amp, you conduct more. If the voltage goes above the initial sort of turn on voltage, super dumbed down, champions, then if it goes above the 0.5, 0.7, whatever volts on the base or the gate, if it was a MOSFET output stage, she starts conducting more. Now, in that setup, because you've got a bipolar power supply, there's it's the best analogy yet. Yeah, got the old handbrake on there, Jace. In a solid state amp, because you got bipolar supply, right, you've got two transistors, the mirror image of each other, one pushing, one pulling, and the top side supplied by positive, the bottom side supplied by negative, and the bias is not so much a bias supply, but what we call a bias spreader. Now it's tied between those rails, and it's essentially basically like a voltage divider that takes a proportion of each rail and feeds it to the base of the transistors on that side. If something goes funky in that bias spreader, like something goes open circuit, it can take the output stage into full conduction, and then your transistors are trying to connect the two bipolar power supplies, which we just saw in some of the other amps, can be like 160 volts. It's like it's trying to connect those two rails directly to each other because the transistors are hard on. So yeah, if it goes open circuit, that can happen. If it goes short circuit, well, the bias spreader will probably over dissipate and cause some damage in that area, but it will basically tie those two bases of the two output transistors almost to each other, so there'll be like no difference, and they'll be sitting at 0 volts, so your output stage will not conduct. So if this thing's overheating, then one side is likely the voltage on the base of the transistors, or on the gate of the FETs, if that's what they are, is going high. So we've got to find out why that is. Transistor hard on, that's right. The negative voltage pulls you away from the bar. Yeah, it pulls you away from the tequila shots. And, we all know that for some reason everyone insists on drinking tequila after midnight when it's the worst fucking time that you can do it. You're already pissed. If you're going to drink tequila, drink it at the start of the night. Have it as your first drink. Because people don't like the taste of tequila for some reason. I don't know why. The bias spreader is like bartender. What's the bias spreader? I guess the bias spreader, you could think of it as like two drunk blokes walking home, leaning on each other. And if one goes away, the other one just falls over. I guess that's a good analogy. Tequila is delicious, Dustin. VBE multiple. Yeah, don't get technical, Terry. I'm trying to keep it funny. I'll stick with effects and guitar bass amps. We're trying to find positions for them on the other contracts. Oh, hang on. Stuff's going on previously. No guru for me. Well, let me scroll back. Check the chat. Check the chat. I'm not a guru, bro. I'm a janitor with a soldering iron. New meds causing me to sleep too much. I could use that, Victor. I fell asleep sitting up yesterday. That was fucked. I know, Lyle says, I know gurus, their knowledge level is scary, as are their social skills. I don't know. I met some pretty hectic gurus last weekend. I didn't talk about the bloody Electronex, did I? So I started filming. I walked into the place, and then they go, whoa, you can't film in here. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, you've got to be pre-registered to film, and chances are that means you've got to be associated with the organisation, Electronex or whatever, and be involved in the social media promotion or something. They just don't want people filming the floor. So I took all my cameras for nothing, but I got to meet Dave Jones, and he did give us a shout out on his EEV blog channel as well, as his Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter because, I don't know, I've already got little enough faith in humankind. I don't need to be on Twitter and be smashed by bots all day. But got to meet Dave. I got to do my voice impression to him. Hi, I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog. And he thought it was pretty funny. I didn't know how that was going to go, but he thought it was funny. And he goes, oh, yeah, you've got social media, don't you? I go, yeah, I'm on a YouTube channel. He's like, oh, that's right, you've got a YouTube channel. I go, yeah. He goes, how many subs have you got? And I go, oh, 8K. But he didn't hear the K. And he's like, oh, 8. I'm like, yeah, just 8K. And he's like, oh, 8K. He's like, oh, I thought you were saying you had like 8. I was like, oh, okay, must be a small channel. No, I got 8,000. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, sweet. He's got 1 million, but hey, 8K is 8K. Now I feel sorry for sending Messer, Black Star, and Hughes and Ket to you, Brad. It's all right. I ate them for breakfast, Chris. G'day, Chris, by the way. I didn't see you pop in. My social skills are shite, so I guess someday I'll be an amp guru. It's all right. Don't worry about social skills. They're fucking overrated. All right, here we go. So Rob's talking about, I've had better days. I had to tell two of my team that their contract was not renewed by our customer. I hate telling good people bad news. Yeah, that sucks, but that's just business, isn't it, Rob? Can't take it too personally. At the end of the day, it's things shift and ebb and change and whatever. I'm not working on PA gear or stereo equipment ever again. I hate it all. It's all junk and all time sinks no one wants to pay for. It can be lucrative. The problem is, Scotty, and I say Scotty Brockway, is you don't know this stuff until you've played with it. So there's so many products, there's so many manufacturers, there's so many products over so many decades. Like one manufacturer might have 1,000 products over fucking 7 decades. Like Fender, for example. And how do you know which one's not to touch until you've already touched them? So you gotta keep notes. Probably a good idea would be to have, I don't know, like a spreadsheet or something. Just keep it really simple. Have the manufacturer, model, and then just a big note field about the notes, like things to look out for on that amp, just for yourself. I actually put like the measurements of the voltages and everything. Do you really want to look at a heatsink or my beautiful face? I put measurements of everything, like the voltages, the quiescent current draw from the power consumption from the wall, DC offsets, just anything that is pertinent to what I repaired, I write down and I actually put it on the invoice and the customers get a copy of it. But the main reason I do it is so it's on file now, and if I ever need to refer back to what I did, because you might not see a particular amp for 2 years, and you forget what you did to it last time. So if you've got a detailed invoice instead of just amp repair, $400, it helps you out too, and it also instills confidence in the customer that you know what you're doing and that you've actually done something to the amp. So do that. Eventually, you'll become known for, like I'm becoming known for restoring Silverface shit shows, right? So being on the social media is pretty important, I think. Let's have a look at your channel, Scotty. Your channel. Choose me. Scotty Brockway. Channel activity. Ooh, I can pull up chat logs. Cool. That's fancy. Oh, Scotty, I can see you used to be a member and now you're not. Well, mate, feels like I'm dedicating a bit too much time to your comment. No, just joking. Where's his profile? Profile. Can't go to it. Maybe if I'm on the actual chat. Go to channel. Here we go. Scotty, what do you put on your channel? He's got some videos. Oh, that's good. Keep it up. 2 years ago was your latest one, though. So what are you doing? I know, 10 months ago. He's got some pedal stuff a year ago. Well, keep it up. That'll help instill confidence in people. It's shit. I hate it, but you pretty much can't live without the social media thing anymore, and it sucks. So yeah, lean into that a bit. The customers really like the videos on assessing their amps and stuff as well, so that's good. Oh, chat's jumping all over the place. Oh, Pete's here with the Ampeg. Yeah. Like I told you, Pete, is 2 in the queue before it. One's pretty much complete, just got to clean the cabinet. The other one's that Music Man, which I assessed earlier in the stream. Once I get them out of the way, I'll pop your Ampeg on the bench. I should have it underway today. There's quite a bit of work in that bad boy, though. I had a closer look the other day, and I'm thinking we probably shouldn't save that circuit board. I think we should put new sockets in and hardwire them to the output stage. So yeah, it's going to take a bit more time, but a little bit more cost in parts, but I think it'll be more reliable than relying on a charred circuit board. Psionic Audio, you're great, and I'm sticking with it. And you're a very great social skill teacher as you navigate your awesome live Saturday YouTube channel. So that's Sunday for me. Quit beer, stuff that, just cut down. Quality over quantity. That's right, Pete. You drink good beer, and then you can't afford to have more than one. Because they're like fucking $20 a can. Should have filmed both of them in the car park. What are you filming, Alex? Oh, should have just filmed both of them in the car park. You're talking about Electronics. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to just throw a camera in their face because this is the first time I met both Rod and Dave. So I didn't want to just throw up a camera in their face. That can be a bit intimidating, not to Dave, but I didn't know how Rod would react. He seemed okay with it, and he's open to doing an interview in the future. These guys smell bullshit from fucking 10,000 kilometers away. So I need to be on my game when I chat to them. Because you know me, my memory's shit. I use reference books all the time to refresh my memory. But if they start talking about something, I've got to know what they're talking about, right? So I kind of like the idea of having a face-to-face, not face-to-face meeting, like over the internet, so I can like research shit while they're saying it. But Rod wants to do an in-person one, which I think is going to be good because Rod and I sort of hit it off straight away with similar personalities, similar views of the industry, similar political views, that kind of thing. So we really got along well. Him and his partner Kate, she was awesome. So I think a face-to-face would work out really good there. But Dave, because I've been pestering Dave to interview Rod for years. Like I was back in the garage, like 5 years ago. I was saying, get him on. And he's like, yeah, one of these days. Now he's actually seen him in person. He was actually really apologetic to Rod. He was like, oh, I know I've been meaning to get you on. We're going to get you on as soon as we can. We'll get it moving. And he's like, yeah. And Rod's like, yeah, whatever. And it's cool. But I think him and Rod on the amp hour, if they do an amp hour, would be awesome. Or even if he just does an EEV blog. I like hearing Dave and Chris Gamble bounce off each other too, because they're both characterful champions. So it'd be good to have him on the amp hour, but I do like the visual cues you get from when he does a video interview on the EEV blog as opposed to the purely audio, the amp hour podcasts. Sorry, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about an Australian YouTuber by the name of Dave Jones who runs the EEV blog. It's one of the biggest electronics-focused blogs and forums out there, as well as YouTube channels. And I'm talking about Rod Elliott from Elliott Sound Products, and he's got one of the most comprehensive electronics-related websites, a lot of articles, and a lot of projects on there, and you can actually buy PCBs from him for those projects for a lot of them. So, both very inspiring legends. And Lyle has poisoned sumac. God, that's really giving you a workover, eh? I'm surprised nothing in that hedge tried to eat me. That thing was like a forest. Fixing PA gear for a large PA company wouldn't be too bad compared to random band garbage. Yeah, true words, Dustin. Scotty, like I said, sorry, I probably missed that. I miss every other chat. I did this already as my job for 17 years, so basically I'm only really unfamiliar with the stuff from 2009 to 2020. Same principles, really, Scotty. There's probably just a lot more microcontroller stuff and DSP stuff, which just goes in the bin anyway. If there's something wrong with it, you just replace the module. If the module's not available, the thing goes in the bin. Just make sure you charge people for finding that out. As long as you limit location between your fingers. That stuff spreads like crazy and goes everywhere. I'm going to have to look that up. I've never heard of that. Yeah, I keep detailed invoices. Yeah, good way to be, Scotty. It's just, yeah, it's good record keeping. Yeah, checking your own videos too, Lyle. That's one thing I've had to do a few times. I've been like, where was that connection? Like when something comes in, often with these basket cases where someone's ripped half the thing out, um, you need to like, you might not find detailed enough photos online. It could be something specific to the Australian market too. I literally look at my own videos and figure stuff out sometimes too. Get let out. It's been into the eye, but never the sumac. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I don't know if it's not here or what. My nads have gone. My nads have gone unscratched for 2 weeks. Oh bullshit! You're just using one of those back scratches, aren't you? Good to see and hear you again. I love the Aussie commentary. Thanks, Robert. We're sort of off the rails a bit now that I'm coming to the end of the stream, or we've got 10 minutes left. So we're just having a bit of a chat now, mate. Done some assessments. So I'm going to get back into finishing those 2 amps, dig into the Ampeg, do a video maybe tomorrow on the little Walter. I've got to trace out the thing today. I want to sort of take it easy today. I haven't had much sleep and I'm feeling a bit delicate. So I might go home and relax instead of working for 15 hours today. Going to start doing videos. I've got a new phone holder coming. Sweet. Even Scotty, if you want slightly better, you can take good videos with the phone. Just get your lighting up to scratch, which is what I found out the hard way after Lyle pestered me for months. Finally got some decent lighting. Got a light here on my face. Got a ring light over there that's reflecting off the test gear for a bit of a fill. The overhead with the blinders on it, the blinkers, so it doesn't light up my skull like that. It's only shining straight down on the gear. It's probably like maybe $500 worth of lighting gear, something like that. You can make up your own stuff as well, like just hanging a white sheet and lighting it from behind with a lamp. Can give you that nice soft light. You can do ghetto shit. Whatever gets results. But you can also find a decent camera for pretty damn cheap these days too. Like a little rangefinder style camera, like a Sony AE6400, something like that. You could probably get them for $300 or $400. Pulling the vines off your fence. Were you wearing gloves when you did that, Lyle? Your health's been bad and you're recovering. Oh, you had a heart attack. Shit, man. Sorry to hear that. It's good to hear you're back on track, though. I hear the pedal market is dying. Real pedal heads turn to modelers fast. Yeah, pedals do seem very inconvenient to me, unless you're just using one or two. Pedal market is very saturated and the bottom is falling out. Good. I'm sick of people thinking they're the best thing since sliced bread because they can piece together an op-amp clipper. It's fucking lame, and I'm sick of it. And then even worse is when they're like using obsolete, heavily out of fucking tolerance germanium transistors from 1943. That's a joke. They weren't around then. From 1963. And then claiming it's got some magical tone shit and then charging $1 million. Like the dumb shit I've seen on pedal forums and like people praising it, it's just it really makes my fucking blood pressure go up, eh? Tack solder joints, like shit floating in midair, components floating in midair with just soldered tacked together in right angles. Looks pretty, but fucked if you're taking that on the road, the whole thing will fall apart. But then everyone's praising, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I bet it sounds as good as it looks. Anyone with half a fucking tech brain knows that's stupid and you should have a circuit board. But hey, what do you do? Just really dumb shit. I'm tempted to go and fucking look at it now because it's dumb, but I don't want to call out other channels because people are like, oh, you're picking on people. No, they're picking on the customers. I'm just fucking showing a product that they sell on their own public page. I suppose we could do it. Let me search. How about I do it and then give no commentary at all, and you guys give your own commentary in the chat, all right? Let's do that. I think there was one on Instagram. Instagram, useless pile of shit app. All right, pedal builder. Andy Fuchs. He's got a Tesla Cybertruck pulled up next door to his shop. I so wanted it not to suck in person, but it sucks in person. Ah, the Cybertruck. What a thing, eh? What a thing. Let's just write boutique pedals into Instagram, see what we get. I'm not going to show it now because all my friends are live and you'll see who all my friends are. Can't I just search? You can't just search. Man, Instagram's so broken. No, I can't find this person. Oh, is that it? Is that it? So many companies. I say companies. No, that's turret boards. They look relatively good. Why would you use turrets though? They do make circuit boards, so no, they're one of the good guys, I think. Let's have a look. Alright, desk share, bugger it. No one's watching now, it's just the legends. Is that a milkman? No. I don't know. There's too many to keep track of, man. People are like, "Oh, I got this, I got this harmonic generator," and they look at you like you should know what it is. I'm like, "Fuck if I know." There's ones coming up and going under like every 5 minutes of the day. So yeah, they sort of look at you like you should know what they're talking about. I've got no clue. Oh, is this the one? That looks like an RF design, maybe? No. It just looks like a prototype. I might give them the benefit of the doubt. You got some tag board, and it's fine, but just make a circuit board. You pleb. This is good because I'm not picking out any one company. I'm treating them all. Oh. Now I am. What's this shit? What is this shit? Tax holder. Tip to tip. You never go tip to tip. You can if you want, but not in a pedal. You got leads just passing through the... Is that even a eyelet pot? Oh yeah, it is. Things just rattling around. And looks awesome. Love it. You know? Fire. People love this shit. And it's not built for the road, champs. Okay, now I'm picking out brand. You know, they're showing this stuff publicly, so it's for scrutiny. So it's all about the Insta champions. Like, what's this? One transistor fuzz. What are they charging for that? Alpha pots. Tax holder. Like, you poke that with your finger and the whole thing will fall apart. And then they'll message me going, "We've never had one fail," just like Ashdown. "We've never had a failure, ever." Like, how is that a solder connection? That's not a solder connection. It's a bit of using solder as glue. It's silly. And look, they've lined it up so it looks pretty. Everything's... It's all about aesthetics. It's nothing about electronics or sound quality. Look, they're showing it off. That's not to be proud of, man. Like, that's not the lead of that resistor. That stops there. Then that stops there. This is another wire. Because you can see that the tips aren't aligned. It's just tax holder city. And then, extremely nice work. Wow, I just discovered your brand. It sounds as good as it looks. I might need to order something soon. I fucking literally said that, didn't I? Some shiny joints. Wow. You've been fucking smoking the shiny joints, champion. So, yeah, that's... You don't want to buy stuff like that because it's not how you build stuff. Anyway, let's single out another brand so I don't feel unfair. But But there's so much stuff like that, man. And these guys have like really nice websites. They've spent a lot of money and effort marketing themselves. And it's just, yeah. Like, have you recognized any brands yet? I haven't. Oh, what, Strymon? Yeah, but they're a professional company. Is that Jackson Audio? Jackson Audio are good. I'll give you that, because I had a rather complex pedal that failed and no questions asked. They just replaced it, like, and it was out of warranty and everything. I was like, whoa. Okay, that's sort of what I'd do if I was them, but yeah, not many people do, so good on them. So that's more how you build a pedal. If you're going to be a bit of a pleb, then you can build them like this too. But that's a prototype, so don't go charging money for that shit. That's a proto. That's how you build a pedal. Proper boards, things fitted, you know. Looks like the pots are mounted on the other side. Very complex pedal, but you know, if you're doing something simple, there's no reason you can't do a circuit board and make it actually reliable. Would be nice. Come on, we want more gut shots. Yeah, it's all about the artwork, isn't it? It's all about the artwork, and it's all about having the plants in the background and shit, and the fancy background. I've noticed the synth world is all about having the indoor plants in the background. Yeah, is this bloke again? What's he charging for this? Oh, it's only just starting, right? I thought this is like a tone control, and you charge like, you know, $1,500 for it or something. Anyway, it's funny stuff. That's why I don't venture into the pedal world, because there's so much horseshit in there. Ugh, messer. Anyway, I feel like I've done enough shitting on people today. So, what are your opinions on that one, champions? Oh, there's too many comments to read. Pedal making is a little obsession I've found. Follow a schematic, solder shit, shove that shit into a box and hope it works. Yeah, yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it, Pete? The first couple of ones you build. Makes uh-oh. Makes popcorn before Brad gets to the Lazy J question, and the Lazy J question was, any experiences with the Lazy J40? No. There is lots of comments there, champs. I can't read them all. But anyway, I made a joke pedal company called Electric Crutch. Really? The Not a Clon was marketing genius, or eventually, even though I didn't need a clon. Gotta go crash 6's stream. Yeah, 6 still going? Yeah, well, it's just hit 10 o'clock, champions, so I better piss off. We're only talking shit now anyway, but it's fun, isn't it? It's fun. I should do it more, just shit-talking streams. I mean, shit, we've got 80 viewers. So let's go brigade 6's stream. Let's go cross streams. Is he still going? He's still going. He's a machine. All right. Let's... got that muted. So I'm going to open the shop, and then I'm going to finish these 2 amps and get on to Pete's and do some video on it. And here's where I want you to go. Now, I don't know if I can send you to somewhere, send into there automatically or not. I'm not sure how to do that. Add a stream member, share. I don't think there's a way to do it, champs. Share Q&A, start poll. No. How do you divert people to a new stream? I don't think you can do it. I've seen people do it, but it might be through the YouTube app. Add a stream marker? No. Don't know. Pop out chat? No. Anyway. Head over here. We'll put it up again. There you go. Put it up 1,000,000 times. There you go. You can do it on Twitch. Ah, okay. So you can't do it on YouTube. I think some apps might do it, but... yeah. Anyway, oh, there's Tone Talk too. Jesus, how am I pulling 80 viewers when Tone Talk and 6 are going at once? Alright, see you, legends, and we'll see you over there. Let's ask 6 lots of distracting, silly questions and fuck with his head. Alright? I'll see you over there, and enjoy your week, and I'll see you next Saturday, all going well. And we'll have some more videos coming out. I'll do the Ashdown, I'll do the Little Walter, I'll do the Ampeg, I'll do other things. So I'll see you then. Have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe. Become a member if you want to be a fucking true blue top-notch bloody legend. Or, you know, don't. Whatever. It's a free world. I'm just rambling, so I'm going to go.